Good evening here from the virtual Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Through the long straights and bumpy and banked corners, you won't miss a second of the action here tonight for the Misfit Touring Series Season 2. My name is Scott Shive, and we're joined here by Sky Shrek and our executive producer, DJ Lion, for tonight's live coverage of the Misfit Racing Late Model Tour Season Series Season 2. It's Race 2, baby, Sky. What we know about it?
Yeah, we're excited here for this race tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. You can see the schedule pulled. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, my bad. We get to see a schedule up there. Race 2 of the season tonight, November 9th. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, following up last week's race in Stafford. We take you to the track information here on tonight's race in Nashville. It's 5/8 mile speedway here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, banking of 18 degrees open in 1904. They ran the All-American 400 here last weekend in real life. Jake Garcia took the win in that one. It was a great race. I don't think tonight will be much different.
No, it won't be much different at all. Battle with Gio Ruggiero and Casey Roderick in that All-American 400. It was great, and we're expecting to see that tonight. A little bit of our Google Earth here. 18-degree banked turns. We talked about those heavy banking, and it is aggressive here. Sky, you'll see one of the old little ovals in there in the middle. NASCAR used to race on that back in the days when it raced Cup races. 42 Cup races event were held here with NASCAR Grand National Series and Winston Cup Series from 1858 to 1984. But today, we're here with the late models. These are our current point standings. After last week at Stafford, Kyle Terzak won the race, so obviously he got the most points. Cody Dempster won his heat race and finished second in the race. But big news tonight, as we're gonna talk about it. We don't have to talk about it all right now, Sky, but we're gonna talk about it throughout tonight. We got some penalties coming into tonight for some of these top runners within the top 10 of the points. There, we're gonna talk about it after the anthem, and we're gonna be with you all night long on that. Let's bring it trackside for the national anthem. And we're back from that wonderful national anthem here tonight. Got to have some patriotism. Obviously, we're in Nashville, some of the heart of the South. Very patriotic. But we talked about it just a second ago, Sky. We saw some penalties that all of race control had to go through after last week at Stafford. Tell me a little bit about what happened post-race.
Yeah, we had a lot of incidents there at Stafford. I believe we have 9 drivers coming into this race with a penalty tonight, 2 with suspensions. You mentioned Cody Dempster, who finished second last week. Waylon Robinson, who's also in the top 10 in points, got a suspension for this race, while Keegan Bush and Tanner Bethea both got some lesser penalties, but they will still be allowed to race tonight.
Yeah, a lot of drivers had some warnings, different restarts, violations, other things going on throughout the racetrack within the MLR rulebook, because Misfit Racing, Misfit Productions is very strict about how these drivers race each other, because they always want to put a great product down on the track. And so these drivers have to abide by that rule book. And those that didn't, like Dempster and Robinson, will be suspended here for this week. We'll have to see what that looks like going on into the season, if they can make it back up and get up in the top lineup for this championship. We're going to roll off the grid for our first heat here. We're going to have mini heats tonight. We had a great turnout for the drivers. Starting first will be the 027 of Hunter King. Second on the outside will be the 49 of Jake Kraut. And third, that'll be Alex Grates. Back first race this season. Michael Weissman in that 74 will line up fourth, and Kyle Adams will line up fifth in the 24. In the 55 will be Tyler Muller, starting in the 6th position. In 7th, the 22 of John Leday. In 8th, we'll have the 86 of Justin Crow. In 9th, the 4 of Travis Walls. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 34 of Jared Schell.
And rounding out your field tonight, we got 2 more cars in the heat race. Cameron Bennett in the 08 will roll off 11th, while Connor Gadsden in the 76 will roll off 12th. Top 5 advanced, top 4, I believe, advanced directly to the feature. So they're going to have some work to do to get up through the field here.
Yeah, they definitely are. You want to win this heat because obviously within your finishing positions for these heats, the higher you will start in the feature. Top 4 from each of these heats will advance on to what you said, the feature. So we'll have to see how these drivers can do. Grid rolling off of pit road right now. And I'm really excited about this. We got some new names in here. Obviously, we saw Hunter King, Jake Grout last week, Michael Weissman. Alex Grates is new this week. He ran a lot last season in Season 1 for the Touring Series, but this will be his first race here for Season 2. John Leday, he is new to the series completely, as well as Travis Walls, and I believe Cameron Bennett. We might have seen him, but some of these guys here, very first race, at least for Season 2, and some of them new for MRL, looking along here with Alex Grates. He's a fast driver, Sky.
Yeah, looking ahead of him a little bit, Jake Grout in that 49 Ryan Kuhn Motorsports car. He's from Vermont, had a good week last week, finished in the top 10. He's going to look to repeat that here, starting on the front row of the first heat.
Yeah, had a great finish in that 49 car. Jake Grout is really fast. Gotten to watch him for a long time here. But we're going to get going here. These cars are looking good. The speedway is ready. Looks a bit sunny, so this track might be a little bit slick. And so we're going to have to see how these cars are going to handle here in this first heat race. It's going to be 10 laps. And so the driving, I imagine, is going to be aggressive, Sky. And these drivers know that each position is important. Green flag out in the air here for our first heat race at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jake Grout takes the lead on the outside away from Hunter King here through 1 and 2. Now in 3 and 4, they're side by side. That's Michael Weissman and Alex K. Grates.
Car in the wall there behind him. Big dive down to the inside for the 74 car of Wiseman. He's going to move up the track a little bit. This track really bumpy down on the inside. You see King now getting caught out in the 027. Started this heat up front. He's gone all the way back to the 5th position. He can't make that outside work. He's dropping rapidly.
The outside line just doesn't really work here in this late model stock. You see Hunter King giving it everything he's got, forcing it on the outside. He grazes the wall again, falling back through the field still. Looking along here with Michael Weissman looking back. Hunter King still on that outside. Oh, Kyle Adams is sideways outside of turn 4.
Big wiggle for him. Let Travis Walls take a peek up the inside, and he's going to get there. Near contact between the two drivers, but Walls is able to keep it off him. They keep it straight out of the corner. Good battle back here for 7th and 8th. Adams is going to need a couple more spots to get up to this main event, but every position is going to help him get a spot in the consolation race later.
Oh, 76th round! That's Connor Gadsden. Caution is out.
Car in the wall there. That's Connor Gadsden backwards, and we're going to try and get you the drivertees.com replay here when we can. Show you what happened to that 76 machine.
Yeah, we're coming across the line to complete lap number 4 there, as you saw, looking along here with the 76 of Gadsden in this black, yellow, and red machine. Coming out of turn 4, looks like someone gets loose in front of him, and looks like he just gets loose himself. Piled in. Oh, who was that? I couldn't quite see.
34 of Jared Schell.
That was Jared Schell. Thank you for that one, Sky. Yeah, just looking along on the hood of Gadsden, the 08 in front of him gets sideways, and so does Gadsden. Slams into the outside wall, and then bam, big hit for that 34 car.
Yeah, those drivers, we've seen a lot of them get really loose out of turn 4. Gadsden is no exception going around there. Even some of the cars up front leading this heat, we've seen get really loose out of 4. That seems to be a trouble spot on this racetrack, and these drivers might have to take it a little easier out there if they're going to avoid doing what Gadsden just did.
Absolutely. You got to make sure that you're keeping it clean all night long, especially in this feature. I understand right here it's go time, but now Gadsden even farther in the back than he might have been earlier with that spin. Well, when we get started again, I think we're going to have a little heat race green-white checkered. We're just going to have to see how it's going to line up with the iRacing caution, but intense action already, Scott.
Yeah, Jake Grout took the lead there on that run. He'll start back in the first position. Alex Grates is going to go from second. Hunter King, who we saw start this heat race on the pole, already back on the outside looking in fifth. He is going to be desperate to make a move up through this field.
He's absolutely desperate, sitting one position out right now behind Justin Crowe. Meanwhile, 49 of Jake Grout has stayed up front, started on the front row, and he's going to stay up front right now. He is leading this race. We'll have to see what lane choice he's going to take, Sky. I've got a big idea that I think he might take the bottom.
Yeah, that's definitely the preferred line right now. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the cars behind him are a little more willing to try that bottom line as well, given the advantage that you see some of these drivers able to get by just ringing it around the bottom. Grates will go to the outside here, Wiseman to the bottom behind him, and then Crowe back to the outside in fourth. King's going to be the third car on the outside, looking to push past that 86 car to get the final transfer spot.
Well, you see King looking there, lining up onto the bottom. That's what he needs to try to break it into this top four. I saw him on the outside earlier, and he wasn't able to make it work. But right now, on your front row, that's Jake Grout, leader of the race, and that's Alex K. Grates in the 17 car on the outside. Top four make it to the feature. Anyone else will have to go to the consolation race. Green flag here for the first green-white checkered in Heat Race 1.
Grout gets a pretty good jump down to the inside. He'll get clear into turn one, and now it's going to be Grates under threat from the cars behind him of Crowe and Wiseman, who are going side by side trying to sort that out. Bunch of cars in the wall down the back straightaway as the whole field heads off into turn three. King is looking inside for fifth.
Wiseman on the inside of Crowe. King looking on the inside of Tyler Muller, trying to make it up there, but he's still outside of those top four. These two side by side, King and Muller, have to get past the 86 of Crowe if they don't want to go to the consolation race.
Yeah, they're gonna go side by
here.
side.
Oh my goodness! Crashing across the line. That's King and Muller. They're still gonna finish fifth and sixth. They're not gonna make it through this transfer through the heat. Meanwhile, Jake Grout, your winner here in Heat Race 1. Man, I was so focused there on these two battling that I was like, oh, we're at the end. The battle was so good between them.
It was going so quick there, that heat race. It's only 10 laps. It goes by in no time. Great run for the driver of the 49 car, Jake Grout, getting that done. Alex Grates will also advance in second. Michael Wiseman and Justin Crowe get the last two qualifying spots, third and fourth.
Well, they're secured into the feature, but here we are now for our second heat race of the night. On pole position will be the 38 of Evan Hassler. Right beside him will be the one of Jake Sylvia. In third will be the 71 of Dylan Calabro. And on his outside, the other Dylan Delaney in that 88 car. The 15 of Joseph West will line up fifth. And in sixth, we'll have the 48 of Matt Urban. The 28 of Sean Hayes will line up seventh. And Bradley Stefane in that 89 car will line up eighth. Ninth will be the 23 of Blueberry. I can't even remember what driver that is. Who was that again? Oh my gosh. I can't remember who they named. Someone in the session named one of the drivers Blueberry in iRacing, so I have to get the word on who that actually is. But lining up 10th on the outside of Blueberry, that'll be Anthony Yankello.
Yeah, the last two spots on the field will be Matt and Mingo in the 12 and Keegan Bush in the 27 to round things out.
I'm really going to have to get a word from our production manager or our race control on who Blueberry is, because I can't for the life of me remember who they said it was.
I was going through the list. I was trying to make sure if they were in the point standings, but they weren't. And I was like, I
don't remember a Blueberry from last week. It's Grant Brown. Oh, I should have known by the 14 car. Yeah, he's running the 23 this week, so we'll have to see if he's actually the 14 on his car. But that's Grant Brown, so we're just gonna roll with that today. So everybody, if you're ever confused and you see Blueberry, that is Grant Brown. That's hilarious. I love that. Well, these drivers will line up 2 by 2 here, pacing for this second heat race, same as the last one. Top four will look to advance. We'll have 10 laps at the drop of the green. Got some heavy hitters here at the front. Hassler, two-time winner in the Summer Series. Jake Sylvia, your Season 1 regular season champion. Dylan Calabro, Dylan Delaney, big front runners back in Season 1. So some big big names up here at the front for this second heat race. Green flag is out for Hassler on the inside of Sylvia for heat race number 2.
Look at the 14 further back. He tried to push it to 3 wide into that corner, but he couldn't get up to him in time. Stuck back there in 7th as Hassler leads him off down into turn 3. Calibro with a big move on the inside of Jake Sylvia. He can't get down to the outside. He's still in third.
Oh. Huge crash. Huge crash out of turn 4. That was Joseph West in the 15 car getting loose in the center of the corner, and everyone else was collected.
That's the big one at Nashville Fairgrounds.
I didn't think we'd
about
see
half
that
the
today.
field who are going to be very thankful that they get a free fast repair and can try to make that up in this heat.
Seriously, we're going to look at our drivetees.com replay here. Drivertees.com, excuse me. Looking along with that 15 car. That's the blue and pink car on the inside. Right behind him is that 14 car of Grant Brown. You'll see the 15 right here in the center of the car. It just gets a little tap from the 14. And that gets him loose. 14. Oh, man. Huge hit there, Sky.
A lot of cars caught up in that. The 79 of Anthony Yankello also getting big damage at the back. That's about 4 or 5 cars that are going to have to take that fast repair to try and compete in this heat race after that.
Yeah, like Yankello, Grant Brown, others getting a piece of it. Looking along here with the hood of Yankello in that 79 car, the Pennzoil machine. Great look here. That's the 14 of Grant Brown right there that gets into the 15 car. The 89 of Bradley Stefane and Yankello have nowhere to go. There was a parking lot in front of them.
Yeah, that Skyline chassis driver there in the Skyline chassis car is going to have to roll off from the back after that. Still got a little bit of time in this heat race to try to make something happen, but laps are ticking down rapidly under this caution, so he's going to need to make something happen quick if he doesn't want to go to the consolation tonight.
Absolutely, that 79 car and that Skyline chassis, like you said. Love that number font. Really interesting there with that number 7. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't think I have either. It's a pretty unique number, pretty unique
Absolutely.
Paint scheme there with the stripes. One of my favorites.
Well, if Yankello will keep coming back, I think it'll be very easy to spot him in that race car. So, Evan Hassler holds the lead on the restart. Calibro actually got on the inside of Sylvia and got around him when the iRacing caution came out. So right now, Calibro will be starting, I imagine, on the outside, because again, I'm going to assume that Hassler is going to pick the inside, because I don't know why you wouldn't unless you were in the back trying to gain position. So Jake Sylvia falls back down right along the hood here with Blueberry. I love saying that. That's actually really fun. I'm going to use that tonight. I kind of want to hope that Grant Brown maybe gets some call so I can say, and it's Blueberry on the inside. It's something like that, of that nature. Grant Brown, we know he's a great driver, just got a little bit too aggressive there in turn 3 and 4 with the 15 of Joseph West. So drivers are going to pick their lanes here, and I think I was looking right. Hassler is going to pick the inside, Sky.
Yeah, pretty obvious choice there with how good that line is. It's bumpy down there, but it's bumpy around the whole track pretty much. So if you can hold it over those bumps, you're going to be in a great position down the backstretch and then on the future laps.
Yeah, getting a word from our race control. Grant Brown did claim the action for that caution. So good news from our race control. That is Steve Charles. So thank you, Steve, for everything you're doing here tonight for us and helping us out. 2x2 as we go through 3 and 4. We're going to get a restart here coming into lap 7. We'll have 4 to go across the line. We're green back at Nashville.
Look at that. Good jump from Hassler down to the outside. Calibro is now going to be threatened by Sylvia. A reverse of what happened on the last restart. He's going to look to the inside on the 71 car, but he can't get there. And now we got a battle for the 4th and final transfer spot. It's Dylan Delaney, and it's Matt Urban in the 48.
Matt Urban trying to power on the inside in that 48 car. Delaney leaving him a lane. That's a bit of a mistake there. Oh, Urban getting loose on the inside of the bumps through turn 2. That'll give Delaney the position for now. Looking on the back of Delaney here. This is a great driver again. Oh, loose is Matt Urban yet again. That's Anthony Yankello in the wall up in 3 and 4.
So many cars loose on the exit of 4, just like we've seen all race. It's a problem spot for them, but it's not been a problem spot for Evan Hassler, who's going to come around to take the white flag and ascend for 5th for Matt Mingo to try to get a better starting spot in the consolation tonight.
Matt Mingo trying to run it on the inside here. White flag is out in the air. Hassler leads, followed by Calabro, Sylvia, and Delaney. But meanwhile, looking on with Matt Mingo. Whoa, sideways. Contact from Sean Hayes in the 28 car. Mingo's around on the inside wall here in the last lap. No caution. We're still coming to the line. Evan Hassler is going to win your Heat 2 race. Wow, what a race to the line.
Yeah, I don't think Mingo's going to be too happy about that contact there with some of those cars further back.
Not at all.
A lot of drivers going to be a little upset after that final lap.
That was a 28 of Sean Hayes that got into the back of Matt Mingo there off of turn 2, running down the back straightaway. Mingo had a huge contact with the inside wall. That's going to relegate him to a 14th place finish. Or excuse me, it was a 11th place finish. Well,
yeah.
We're going to be sending here to our consolation race, and 11 drivers will be able to advance to the feature here. So that means that 5 Sky will be out here tonight. We'll have our starting grid here for the consolation race. Tyler Muller in the 55 will be on the pole position, followed by the 48 car of Matt Urban. Hunter King in the 027 will bring it up third, and Blueberry, Grant Brown, will bring it up in fourth. In fifth, we'll have the 4 of Travis Walls on his outside, Joseph West in the 15 car. 24 of Kyle Adams in seventh will line up seventh. The 8th car, 28 will line up 8th. That's Sean Hayes. In 9th, the 08 of Cameron Bennett. And in the 10th position, that'll be Keegan Bush in the 27 car.
Yeah, last transfer position coming into this is 11th. That'll be John Lede in the 22. Anthony Yankello, 12th in the 79, with Jared Shell in row 7, 13th in the 34. Matt Mingo went from potentially a good starting spot all the way back to 14th in this race in that 12 machine. Connor Gadsden rolled off 15th in the 76, and last starter on the field will be Bradley Stefane in the 89.
Saw Stefane in that incident in heat race number 2. That's why he wasn't able to work through the field so early here. Well, Hunter King has a chance, it looks like, to start on the front row yet again here in this race. The 55 had a EOL for a end of lap incident there in heat race number 2. Or excuse me, in his heat 1. He was in heat 1, so he'll be at the back of the field. That's why Hunter King will be moved up to the front row. We saw earlier, Sky, he wasn't able to hold it on the front row. He's got a second chance this time.
Yeah, Tyler Muller, I mean, he's going to be driving so crazy trying to get that thing to the front of the field. Hunter King has another chance to make right what he did last time. He started on the pole the last heat, couldn't make it work. He's got another chance to stay up in the top couple positions here. As we're going to go back green this time in the consolation race, Hunter King will lead him to the green flag.
Green flag out in the air. Hunter King leads it away into turn 1. Matt Urban on the outside. The 4 of Travis Walls trying to work to the inside of the 48 of Urban. Hunter King slow off of turn 2. 48's going to go to the outside. He won't be able to take it. Travis Walls is going to run it through on the inside. Caution out here.
Yeah, we got a car around to the back, couple cars around a little further towards the back of the field. We're going to find out who those were for you right here.
Looked like it might have been the 55 involved.
Was one of the cars involved.
Adams was too in that number 24. We're going to have to get you the drivertees.com replay right here. 24 on the inside of the 0 car. Oh, just gets in. This gets in the 15 of Joseph West. Man, Joseph West is taking a beating here tonight through 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's similar to what we saw last week at Stafford, actually. You get one car that gets really loose. Everyone behind him kind of checks up, and you end up with this domino effect that results in 2 or 3 cars going around when it really only should have been 1.
Yeah, really, it's just so hard. I mean, the dominant line is the bottom. So the only time we see people really on the outside are these restarts. That 24 of Kyle Adams did claim the caution here for the incident, but Sky, we see a lot of guys on the bottom, and so when you get in an incident like that, there's really nowhere to go for anyone else behind you, like we saw in that stack up with other drivers getting involved behind.
Yeah, it's so hard because, I mean, if you let off the brakes and the car behind you kind of has to let off the brakes at the exact same time, or else you're both going around. It's really easy for that to just transfer to every car behind you in one big line.
That 0 car was Sean Hayes, so he was on the outside there of Kyle Adams when Kyle Adams got into the 15 of Joseph West. So chaos already This is a 15-lap consolation race, so a little bit more time here for these drivers to gain those positions. Right now, Anthony Yankello, Matt Mingo, Tyler Muller, Bradley Stefane, and Kyle Adams would be out of the feature if we were to take the checkered now. But good news for them is we're going to have about 8 laps when we come back to the green flag for them to break into this top 11. Sky, how are they going to do that there from the back?
They're just going to have to drive really hard. I'm imagining we're going to see some big pushing, cars maybe bumping each other out of the way at the back of the field. That dominant line is so, or that inside line is so dominant, it's the best way to make passes. You kind of need to be down there if you're going to get 5 spots in 10 laps.
You're going to have to find a way to the bottom and find a way past cars very quickly. Well, when we come back here to the green, we're going to have 10 laps to go here in this consolation race. Hunter King was able to keep it up front here, and we're going to try to see if he can do it again. Green flag is out. Travis Walls on the outside. What can he do into turn 1?
Great jump for that car. He almost gets fully clear down to the outside. He can't quite get there, but Hunter King is around.
Oh my gosh, huge crash in the backfield. Every car's involved except for Travis Walls and Grant Brown. Oh my gosh, car upside down. That's the 08 of Cameron Bennett.
Oh my goodness, that is massive. Some of those cars are going to hope they still have the faster pairs left, because that is, I mean, that's everybody.
Well, here we're going to look at our driverstees.com replay and what happened here on the restart. Hunter King, not the best jump. Travis Walls had an amazing one, was able to wrap it around the outside. Looking here at the 08 to see what happened here out of turn 2. We saw Hunter King have a problem, but we're going to see the 08 go upside down here. Problems in front of him. Joseph West, Matt Urban, Hunter King. The 22 comes and piles in. That's John Leday. And when the 22 piles into the back of Cameron Bennett, lifts him up, gets onto the outside wall and starts barrel rolling. Thank goodness this is in the sim and not real life.
That's a huge flip with a little bit of help from Matt Urban and John Leday, as you said. Looked like Hunter King just got a little bit up the track. There was contact between him and the car above him. He got turned head on into the fence, and it was just all over from there.
I wonder if he was trying to slide up into Matt Urban here. Yeah, it looks like he was trying to move up, and Matt Urban was well established there. And so Hunter King was not clear even in the slightest. I want to go back and see if maybe he got loose at all or if he was truly trying to move the track. We're going to take a look on the hood here. We'll see Travis Walls dive it around on the outside, able to pull great momentum. He hits the bump here. I'm not quite sure. There might have been some contact, but I just can't quite tell yet, Sky.
Yeah, that was maybe a racing incident there. Just really close racing between those two drivers, trying to keep that up. Haven't gotten word from race control yet, so I'd imagine they're taking a look at that one right now, trying to decide what to do there.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter King was trying to dive low, get as much momentum he could off the corner, wrapping the bottom. He hooked the apron with his left side tires, and I imagine that pushed him up the track just a little bit on exit, just enough to squeeze Matt Urban. And from there, the 27 was into the wall and collected everyone else behind him. Well, this changes up the back of our field significantly.
Yeah, Cameron Bennett disconnected from the session, so he will not be in the main event tonight. And Hunter King has gone a lap down from that, which will probably mean he won't make the session either.
Not surprised with the damage that he had. Kyle Adams went from the very back in 16th. He's all the way up to 9th. So that was, we talked about what needed to happen for those guys in the back. Well, for the ones that made it through, that's what needed to happen.
Yeah, just get a big wreck, take about 8 cars out there, and you're perfectly fine.
Well, Kyle Adams is, well, at least not for the league. Happy about that one. Of course, it was a racing incident. So, hey, provided some great entertainment for us. It was a great call by you. But he's happy about that one, at least, to be able to move up through this field. Well, that'll relegate Travis Walls to the lead of this consolation race. Grant Brown will be on his outside. 0 of Sean Hayes will be on the inside, and Keegan Bush in the 27 car will be there on the outside. So a bit different up front here. Travis Walls had a great move on the outside of that 27 car. Can Grant Brown do the same? Here through 3 and 4, Travis Walls is the control car. Green flags out in the air here. 4 to go across the line.
Walls immediately swerves that thing up in front of Grant Brown. Great run down to turn 1 for him. 27 and Keegan Bush gets a little wide. That gives a run to the car on the inside of Grant Hayes, but he has a really bad corner. He's loose. He goes all the way back, almost out of the top 10, and we're battling for the lead now. Grant Brown in the 14 trying to put one on as they wreck in the back.
Travis Walls was under attack there from Grant Brown, but there wasn't enough time. There was a wreck out of turn 4. This is going to send us to a green-white checkered here for the consolation race. We'll look at our drivertees.com replay. Looked like a problem with Bradley Stefane, Sean Hayes, the 22 of John Leday. And 3 wide, and that just doesn't work here, Sky.
That car, that's another car getting pretty high in the air there in an incident. I feel like we've already seen that about 3 or 4 times tonight. We haven't even made the feature race yet. Sean Hayes is saying his wheel unplugged.
Oh, that makes sense to why he had a problem out of turn 2 as well. Looking along here with Sean Hayes, we're looking along with Tyler Muller in that 55. Yeah, looks like the 0 just gets a little high on that bottom line in 3 wide position. And when his wheel disconnects there out of 4, and gets into the 22 car, and Bradley Stefane was there on the outside as well, and they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's another couple cars who are going to have to get re-racked from the back here, if they even have a faster pair left after that first accident. Some cars we might have had out of this race, it's going to be a lot less competition for those last couple spots here. Sean Hayes also going a lap down, so it looks like we're only going to have 2 cars on the lead lap that end up missing out on the feature tonight. Hunter King's actually going to get his lap back, though.
Yeah, 4 cars currently in the pits. Matt Urban, John Leday, and Sean Hayes all in the pits. Hunter King will get the lucky dog here, so he will be back on the lead lap. He'll line up in 12th, so he still has a chance, Sky, to break into that top 11 to make the feature race. Looking along here with Keegan Bush, he's been pretty quiet here in the consolation race, and I guess here you needed a quiet day. As you see, he's got some big front end damage from that early incident out of turn 2. So while not so quiet for at least the damage on his car, he hasn't been making any crazy moves, and that's relegated him to a top 3 position. And that's going to put him in a nice spot here if he can finish there to line up in the feature race. So we're going to have the choose here. I imagine Travis Walls is going to choose the bottom. We're going to see right here, and he is going to choose the bottom. So he'll stay there. Grant Brown will be on the outside, Keegan Bush on the inside. And look at that, the 79 car of Anthony Yankello on the outside. He was in the back at the beginning of this race. He's up to 4th.
Yeah, he was on the back. Well, I think he was almost in that first incident. He was really near it when it happened. Managed to get through, managed to get all the way up to 4th, and if he can hold that spot, it'll give him a pretty decent starting spot for the main event tonight, starting just behind the invert, which is going to be the top 11 cars.
That invert will be the top 11, so we're going to have to see how that all works out. We're going to go here for another lap as these cars get lined up. I think we're going to have the choose now. I think it's this lap that the cars, well, they chose earlier, now they're getting lined up, so that's how they're working it out this evening. So it's going to be interesting here. Run of the finish is our first of 3 attempts possible for green-white checkered, so when they come to the green flag, we'll have 2 laps to go. If there is a caution on the first lap before the white flag is taken, we'll re-rack them and restack them for our other 2 attempts. If the white flag is taken, no matter what flag comes out, whether that be caution or the checkered, the consolation race will be official. Lining up, front row still the same, second row a little bit different than we saw last time. Travis Walls, your control car, yet again in that 4 USA paint scheme. Grant Brown on the outside in the short design. Green flag here for the first green-white checkered through turn 1. Travis Walls has the lead.
Yeah, great run down for him. The 79 of Yankello is going all the way to the top, trying to make something happen, but he's in the wall off the corner, and that's going to drop him into the clutches of the 15 of Joseph West. We're side by side for 4th. We're side by side behind them for 6th, with Shell getting loose on the outside. White flag in the air.
White flag in the air. We've seen Joseph West in that 15 car have problems, but he's looking good right now to make this feature, looking for a 4th place position. Again, top 11 will make it right now. Bradley Stefane is that last car in. The 0 car is going to make it. Meanwhile, Travis Walls is going to win here in the consolation races. We got a lot going on here in turn 1 after the race.
Yeah, I think we had about 4 cars all upset with each other, trying to run into each other at the same time there.
Sorry, there was so much going on there. I'm thinking Hunter King is 1 position out. Bradley Stefane was that last car to be able to make it in. Travis Walls was able to take the win there, followed up by Grant Brown. So there was a lot going on there at the end, Sky.
Yeah, but Travis Walls gets it done. Grant Brown second, Keegan Bush third, Yankello finishes the heat race in fourth. Joseph West, Kyle Adams, Tyler Muller, Jared Shell, Matt Mingo, Connor Gadsden, and Bradley Stefane all making the feature tonight.
Well, congratulations to them. We're going to have a 24-car feature here. Like you said, 11-place invert, and we're going to go through that starting grid for the feature race right now. Starting on pole, in the first position will be the number 1 of Jake Sylvia. The 74 car of Michael Weissman will line up to his outside. The 71 of Calabro will line up third. Right beside him will be the 17 of Alex Grates. The 38 of Hassler will line up in 5th, followed by the 49 car of Jake Grout in 6th. In the 7th position, we'll have the 171 of Christian Peterson, and in the 35 car, Tanner Berge. The 010 of Sean Hodges will line up 9th, and in 10th position, the 115 of Kyle Turzak.
Caleb Hall, your fast qualifier tonight, is going to start 11th with that 11-car invert. Justin Crow will roll off 12th with Dylan Delaney one spot behind him in 13th. Then we start getting into the consolation cars. It's Travis Walls in 14th, Grant Brown in 15th. Keegan Bush will roll off in the 8th row in the 27 car, starting 16th. Anthony Yankello in the 79 starts 17th. Joseph West in the 15 starts 18th. And 10th row on the field is Kyle Adams in the 24 and Tyler Muller in the 55.
Well, Tyler Muller in that 55 car. Then in 21st position, that'll be Jared Shell. In 22nd, the 12 of Matt Mingo. In 23rd, the 76 of Connor Gadsden. And your final transfer spot is held by the 89 of Bradley Stefane, rearing up the back of this field in that 24th and final position. Well, we've got 100 laps here, Sky. What are you expecting out of this 24-car field?
I think we saw a lot of cautions in the heat races, and I wouldn't be surprised if that continues in the feature tonight. Obviously, the race length, as we said, 100 laps. Pit road speed will be 35 miles an hour here. You get one faster pair for the main event. Full fuel, it's an iRacing fixed setup, and we've got 24 drivers here, 5 of them going home tonight.
5 will be going home, so we'll just have to see how it's all going to work out here tonight. This is going to be an exciting race, 100 laps. Jake Sylvia will be starting on the pole. On that inside, we're green here. Sylvia on the inside into 1. Michael Weissman on the outside trying to battle for the lead position. Bumpy through turn 2, almost into the wall. They're side by side, every position back.
So yeah, Sylvia and Wiseman still side by side. Wiseman's getting around that outside lane fairly well, and he's keeping the fight to Jake Sylvia in the 1 car. That 74 is running about a lane up, but he's doing really good on the exits. He'll not quite get there in that time, and he'll have to drop into 2nd behind him. Caution's out in the back.
Caution is out. 74 car in line. We'll have to see what happened here in the back of our field. Cars were really not getting out of line there. Not many jump into the bottom. Fighting, a lot of cars were on the outside with their starting position there. It looked like it might have been involved with Jared Shell and Bradley Stefane as we're looking along with them. But we're going to see what happened from our DriverTees.com replay. Looking along here with Jared Shell and Bradley Stefane. Ooh, car out front. That was the 88 of Dylan Delaney. And it was a solo spin that caused our caution. And thank you to DriverTees.com for providing us with that replay of Delaney spinning out solo car incident. We'll take another look back at it, Sky.
Yeah, that 88 of Dylan Delaney and his self-titled Dylan Delaney racing team there. He was 7th in points in the summer series, and he's looking to have a good start to this season. Oh, contact with that 14 car there, Grant Brown. That's not really how you want to start it.
Yeah, not how you want to start it at all. Doesn't look like he should have too much damage. He might be able to use some of his repairs there. But, oh, look at it. It was the 14 car. It wasn't a solo spin. That was Grant Brown. So Grant Brown will claim the caution for actually spinning out Delaney. So it wasn't a solo incident.
Yeah, that 88 car went around off the nose of Grant Brown. He's going to have to drop to the back of the field most likely here. And that will lead, still up front in this heat race, the 1-2 combo of Jake Sylvia and Michael Wiseman. Wiseman choosing the inside is going to let the 17 of Alex Great start on the top.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how that one is. Well, we're having an iRacing sale. It's the biggest iRacing sale of the year. It's Black Friday. 25% off 1 or 2 year subscriptions, and new users are 50% off. That Black Friday sale is going on now all the way through December 2nd. So if you are looking for an iRacing membership, now is the best time for it. Come on, get on iRacing, and if you're getting on iRacing, don't hesitate to think about joinmrl.com. If you like the racing that you see here tonight, or any of the Misfit Productions tours, or any of their racing series, join mrl.com. But to do that, you got to join iRacing. So get on that Black Friday sale now through December 2nd.
Yeah, the Black Friday sale is always when I renew. It's the best time to renew. You get a pretty good deal here. We're going to line up here for the restart in the feature race. We've got Jake Sylvia on the inside, Alex Grates on the outside in the 1 in the 17. 78 degrees for the air temperature, a little hotter, 92 for the track temp as they get ready to go back green. Sylvia will lead him to the green flag.
Sylvia far away from his virtual home, at least here. This isn't Middletown, Rhode Island here, but we're in Nashville for our second restart of the day. Already a crash in the back. That's a 71 of Calibro and many others involved in turn 1.
That's about the third big one we've seen today with the 74 of Wiseman getting turned. Crow also heavily involved. 2 cars who are going to have to use their only fast repair tonight on lap 7.
Yeah, it's not the time when you want to do it. DriverCheese.com replay here on the restart. Taking a look back here at the 74 of Weissman. Down on the inside in 1. Oh, Calibro just cuts across his nose. Wasn't clear. Gets into Weissman. Stacks up in the back. Oh, Justin Crow's involved. 79 of Yankello's involved. We'll get another look here from the hood of Weissman. That's the 71 of Calibro on his outside. Tries to come down. Just wasn't clear, Sky.
No, he wasn't. 74 car actually didn't make it out too bad. I think you see some of the cars back there, Yankello particularly, taking a lot more of a hit than the 74 Michael Wiseman. Another one of those Ryan Kuhn Motorsports cars, maybe getting a little bit of a lucky break there. Yeah,
it looks like someone gets up into his rear and lifts up that car. Shouldn't have too much damage. That might have been Grant Brown or Kyle Adams that was lifting up the rear of Yankello, but not an incident that you want to have here early in this race. The 71 of Calibro will claim the caution here, so he'll be given the EOL and will be sent right to the back. So from third all the way to the back for that 71 car.
Yeah, he's going to have to drive all the way back through the field now, too, and he doesn't have a fast repair to do it, so he's got to be a little more cautious for the last 90 laps of this race. But he's also got to be aggressive because he's got to put himself back up, so a bit of a dilemma for him and for a lot of these cars involved in that early accident.
Definitely, these drivers have to be careful. They only get 3 caused cautions before they get a penalty. 79 car of Anthony Yankello is currently under review, under investigation for a possible choose cone violation prior to the restart. So we'll keep you updated on that from our race control. We're looking along here in 13th, that's the 89 of Stefane. He started last here. He started 24th, and he's up all the way almost through half of this field. So extremely impressive from Stefane, missing these incidents, and he's going to try to keep it up front for the rest of the night. But we got a long way to go.
Yeah, still 89 laps to go in this race for Stefane. It's a good start. He's sitting pretty in 13th right now, but you know he wants more. You know he wants to get up there and try to lead this race.
Stefane, a driver out of Whitewater, Wisconsin, 35 years of age, so he's trying to make it up into the top 10. But here, we're going to have looking at the front row. That's Jake Sylvia, and that's Alex Grates on his outside. Green flag here, coming to lap 12.
Sylvia with a pretty good jump, but Grates is still there on the outside in that 17 machine. Jake Grout is really, really loose on the bottom. He saves it, but he's going to go flying backwards through the field now. He'll take him 3 wide into this corner for 5th with the 35 machine. 10 car loose on the top, and somehow everybody makes it out alive.
6 cars under a blanket here through turn 1. They're still 3 wide. How are they making it through this? Muller's, Bergey's on the inside. Oh my gosh, this is insane. That's Travis Walls down to the inside, getting a little bump. We're still 3 wide. That's the 14 of Grant Brown. The 10, oh my gosh, that's Shane Hodges. How have we not wrecked?
I don't know. We're going at it. Grant Brown's still there. That 4-car at Travis Walls is in the mix. They're all going at it in the mid-pack. That battle's still not decided, and we're still going at it a little further up because we've got Terzak trying to get around the 49 of Jake Grout. You see how loose all of these cars are driving off the corners, and it's kind of making that outside line a little even. If that car under you gets loose on exit, you can try to move, and he can't quite close the door on Grout. He's still there.
Yeah, Terzak there moves up into 4th position. Tanner Berge now trying to take away the inside. Grout really loose out of turn 4. That'll allow the 14 of Caleb Hall to make his way through the inside. The 171 of Christian Peterson now on the inside of Alex Grates, trying to make up into 2nd position. And he'll do it right here through 3 and 4.
Yeah, past that 17 car, he'll now try to pursue Jake Sylvia. He's also loose out of 4, fishtailing it a bit towards the wall there. And while he pursues Sylvia, we're watching a little further back. Dylan Delaney's already back up to 14th after that accident earlier in the race, and he's working on the outside of that 38 machine of Evan Hasler, trying to get some positions. Grant Brown also in that battle in his 14 car.
Yeah, Delaney right there on the outside trying to work around Grant Brown. They're both trying to move through the field here. Man, it is chaos here in the mid-pack. So hard to drive off of that turn 2 bump. Evan Hassler, Keegan Bush also mired back here. That's Travis Walls and the 55 of Tyler Muller. They're all sitting right outside of this top 10.
Travis Walls is finding the action early in this race. He's been in a battle pretty much for the entire run so far. Hasn't been able to get single file yet, and he won't be able to now because he's still going to be working on the outside of the 010 of Shane Hodges. He'll finally get down to the inside as they go through 3 and 4, and they're wrecking again at the back.
That's Justin Crow. Was that Bradley Stefane? Yes, no. Oh, he was doing so good working his way through this field, but involved in an incident. Oh, looks like he's got big damage, Sky.
Yeah, that car's not driving straight. He might have used his fast repair already. He might be in trouble. DriverTees.com replay here for the 89 machine. That's Bradley Stefane in that car. And, contact from behind. 86 car and big hit to the fence.
Yeah, contact there from the 86 of Justin Crow through 3 and 4. Turned him, Bradley Stefane, down on the inside, and Matt Mingo, huge contact with the left front. Well, we're going to take a break here through this caution, but we'll be right back here to continue the racing action here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, we're back here from our quick commercial. 24 laps have been completed here in the Misfit Touring Series. This is the 2nd season, and man, already in the beginning of race 2, we've got some awesome action. Christian Peterson will line up on the inside of Jake Sylvia. Sylvia chose the top for this restart, trying to get some tight air up there because, well, like you said, Sky, the bottom has been loose. So the 171 will be the control car here. Green flag is out yet again here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
That's going to work really well for Peterson because he'll already be clear by the time they get down into turn 1. Greats is still there now on the outside. He'll get around, or on the inside, he'll get around Sylvia. He's dropping a lot of spots on the outside. He's now under threat from Kyle Turzak for 3rd as well.
Man, Sylvia getting real loose there out of 4. He's going to lose the place to Kyle Turzak. Turzak up into 3rd. Back behind them. 2 wide. 5 rows deep here out of turn 2.
Oh, so many cars kind of scraping the wall there down the back straightaway. We've seen that a lot at a turn 2. They misjudge where they need to be, scrape the wall out of the corner. Sylvia is dropping rapidly. That outside is not working for him at all. He's now getting passed by the 35 of Bergie, and he's got Caleb Hall in the 14 about to go around him as well, kicking him out all the way out of the top 5.
35 of Bergie working to the inside of Sylvia there. Then right behind him, that's the 14 of Caleb Hall, your fastest car in qualifying, who is relegated to the 11th place position with the invert. Bergie gonna make it past. Now Hall is gonna try to work back on the inside. Back behind them, the 49 of Grout and Tyler Muller are gonna work to battle here. Golly, a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of cars in a really small amount of racetrack. 49 of Grout sending up the inside as that car outside of him of Jake Sylvia really does not want to give him any space. He's squeezing him all the way off the corner, trying to get any sort of run, but it's just not working down there. He's passed by Grout. Now he might be under threat from Hodges if the 010 can get back up there as well.
I imagine Sylvia might have chose the top because it's so loose off the bottom, and he wanted the car to be a little bit tighter on the outside, but just not working out for him. As we'll see, Shane Hodges now working to the inside. Sylvia's down to 7th. Now he'll finally get down clear to the inside. He went from 2nd to 7th all through that.
Yeah, Shane Hodges got really loose on the bottom. They're both loose off the corner. Kind of traded spots with Hodges going to the top, and now Tyler Muller's trying to get around him on the inside. A little bit of contact off that corner last time, but they keep it straight, and they'll finally get single file. Muller will fall into line in 9th. That's Stefane, the lap car, all the way on the top there.
Yeah, Stefane, we saw, had that incident there earlier just on this pass caution. He's a lap down now, falling through this field. Battle for position right now, looking along with Tyler Muller. That's the 010 of Hodges right in front of him, just under 0.2 of a second. And behind him, that's Grant Blueberry Brown, 0.2 behind him in the 10th position. This is the battle to stay in the top 10. Now side by side, this is the 35 of Bergie, and on his outside, that's Hall.
Caleb Hall was so desperate to try and run that inside line. You see him basically running on the door of Tanner Bergie, trying to get anything through there. Does a bit of a crossover down here, down the back straightaway into 3, switching places. It's now Caleb Hall on the inside.
Man, that was an absolutely beautiful crossover and move by the 14 of Caleb Hall there. Now working to the inside of Bergie here, trying to make it up into 4th position. Over the bump in turn 2, they stay side by side here, heading into 3. Hall, really fast, we know from practice and qualifying, but now he's trying to show it. But Bergie not letting him go so easy. He's got momentum on the outside. He'll hold 4th position into turn 1.
That 35 Sticky Racing car is fast on the top. He's one of very few cars we've seen make that high line work. Caution is out further back.
Caution out. I think that's the longest green flag run we've been able to have tonight. And what an excellent battle that was from the 35 there and the 14 of Caleb Hall. Looking along with the 34 of the webcam 34 car with Jared Schell. And we're going to get our drivertees.com replay. Jared Schell in that 34 right there. Oh, behind him, that's Matt Mingo into the inside wall of turn 4.
Couple cars having difficulties there. Yeah, the 12 of Matt Mingo going around. He was running at the very back of the field when that happened. The team wildcard 12M. Yeah, into the inside wall out of 4.
Yeah, just looks like he got loose there. Wasn't able to hold it. You got to wonder how much he has right now on this 12 car. And we're just going to have to see as he's going to bring it down to pit road and see. Let's see if he uses his fast repair. Jared Schell is going to bring it down there as well. Matt Mingo did claim that caution. He's already at the back, so there will be no further penalty for Mingo.
He might already use the fast repair. I think there's a couple cars back there that are just really struggling with their cars right now. Some of them have some damage and they're really fighting it, just trying to keep that thing straight. I believe, let me check right now. Yes, Matt Mingo, or he has not used the fast first, so he does still have that in the bag. Jared Shell, on the other hand, has used it in the 34.
Jared Shell in that 34 car has used his fast repair, currently sitting in the 21st position. So he's going to have to find a way to stay out of the chaos that we will probably eventually have through the last 60 laps of this race. Well, the 171, Christian Peterson currently sitting up at the lead. Right behind him in second is Alex K. Greats, who we're riding along with. He's led 1 lap today, and he's trying to lead more.
He needs a good run. He's going to be on the outside. He needs to do what we saw Bergie do on that last green flag run. Make a move on the outside, really force that car down and see if he can steal away his run on the exit of the corner. We're going to get him lined up here.
Well, you got to do that so quick. Peterson chooses the inside line. That'll relegate Alex Greats to the outside. The outside is a tough position, Sky, because yes, you can make it work, but you're absolutely going to use up those tires just a little bit more than you would down on the inside. So Bergie had it working earlier, but it's best to jump down to the inside. So we're going to line it back up. Peterson is trying to hold the lead, and we're going to have it work. And we're going to have, under the next caution, we're going to get a driver interview, and we're going to figure out who that's going to be here very soon. But these drivers are getting ready to go here, Sky. What are you thinking about from these guys like Kyle Terzak, Caleb Hall, and Alex K. Greats? What can Christian Peterson do to hold them off?
He's just going to need to get a good run into the corner. We've seen that if you can get that really good run off into turn 1, down or on the inside, all the way onto the back straightaway, you're just going to be gone. You can kind of check out because that car on the outside will fall back to the car in third while you're just clear. So if he can get that really good restart, he might have a chance to jump away from the field.
Gotta have that chance to jump away from the field because behind him, those 3 cars are extremely strong and extremely fast here in today's race. Green flag is out. Peterson will get away. Alex K. Greats still on the outside. Does he have anything into 1? No. Peterson clear into the lead.
Good run, just like he needed. They're side by side. Caution at the back.
Caution out already here. We didn't even make it through turn 1. That's Justin Crow, Anthony in that 79 car. He was under investigation early. Oh, tags the outside wall steer under the caution.
Yeah, we're going to get the drivertees.com instant replay up for you here, and you can see what happened to that 79 car of Yankello and the 86 of Justin Crow. Ooh, stack up into the corner. Crow makes contact with the 24 of Kyle Adams, and it seems a couple cars there pile in.
Well, cars pile in. We'll look along the 24 of Kyle Adams here, on the inside of Anthony Yankello. Travis Walls in the 4. 71 gets loose. Wow. Yeah, just a problem for Kyle Adams there. 86 of Justin Crow. 76. Oh, man, all these cars involved early. And Sylvia just makes it through. And we're going to bring Sylvia here into the booth for a under caution interview. And we're going to get him as soon as we can for you here because we want to talk to him about everything that's happened here early in this racing event. So, are you with us here? Are you with us, Jake?
I am.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you were with us. I had Sky pull you into the booth. Well, we saw you earlier. You've been up front for a good portion of this race. We saw you choose the outside earlier. You had problems getting down to the bottom, and you were moved back to 7th. Tell me about that decision to choose the outside.
Horrible decision. I messed that one up real bad. I just figured, with Alex being able to run the top on me off the start, maybe I'd be able to do the same thing on Christian. Just got a little bit more aggressive on those starts later on versus the first 2, and made the wrong call. Could not get down. Had no grip on exit, burned up all my tires, and kind of got put in a boat where I can either stay on the same strategy with everybody else mid-pack, or I can try to go off strategy like I did last week and see what we can do at the end.
Currently sitting 13th right now here, completing lap 45. You've got just a little bit more than half distance. What's your plan to get back up to the front as you take the choose here?
I'm just going to chill. I know everybody's going to be taking tires that are on. This track's really abrasive, so I'm just going to calm down back here, save my stuff, and I'll be up there when it counts.
Well, the word from Jake Sylvia is that cars will take tires. Thank you for joining us, Jake. Good luck out there in the second half of this race. So, we just heard the word from Jake that cars will take tires at some point in this race. Sky, we're almost to halfway. Do you think it's going to be at the halfway point they'll take tires?
Well, we've seen a couple cars already come down for their one extra set of tires this race. First two who are on the new tires are Jake Sylvia and Jared Schell in the 34, who's also on them those 8-lap old tires. He's back in 14th. Michael Wiseman led a group of cars to come down that caution in 16th. Travis Walls, Joseph West, also some cars getting new tires on that car.
Well, some drivers, like you said, Sky, have already chosen to get those tires. We'll have to see what the leaders will plan on doing. Right now, Peterson still holds the lead over some of these extremely fast cars, but he's going to have to do it for another half of this race. Green flag is out yet again here. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Peterson out front. Greats on the outside.
That 14 at Caleb Hall was almost trying to send it 3 wide to the outside by the end of the front straightaway. He's getting aggressive, and now he's going to dive down to the inside. Back and forth, he's going to try to make a move for some position back there, but he can't get anything because they're still side by side for second between Greats and Turzak.
Oh man, the 35 Berge tried to go to the inside of Caleb Hall, wasn't able to do it, almost contact between them. The 15 of Kyle Turzak here, inside of Alex K. Greats. Tough, close battle between the two of them, trying not to make contact. Greats loose on the outside, that opens the door for Caleb Hall.
He's got the nose in there on the quarter panel of the 17 machine, and he's going to get side by side out of the corner. Good chance for him to try to send it in into 3 and get a run. 17 runs a bit further up than we've seen cars run while they're trying to defend, and that's going to give Caleb Hall a bit of space to get off that corner and try to pull away in front of the 17 car.
The 17 of Greats here going to have to try to scoot to the bottom, but the 10 car of Shane Hodges is there to fill it. It won't happen. He's going to go from second back down, now looking at 5th. Little contact between him and Shane.
Door banging with the 010 of Shane Hodges as he gets up to 4th, and now Greats will fall even further back. The 35 of Tanner Burgess already there trying to make a move to his inside for 6th. And then even further behind him is going to be a battle between Jake Grout and Tyler Muller for 7th.
Muller on the inside of Grout. A little bit of contact between them here into turn 1. Caution's out. Somewhere here back on the track. Somewhere in the back.
Another Costin Shell was involved in that in the 34.
Oh, 34, you talked about it. Already used his fast repair. We better hope here that it wasn't big damage for him. His car looks okay. Just looking at it right now live. But we're going to get our drivertees.com replay here to see what happened to that 34 car. That's Travis Walls in the 4 car on the outside of the 34. Joseph West right behind him. Oh! Looks like the 34 tried to clear up, and the 4 car of Travis Walls was there.
Yeah, he just wasn't clear off the corner. I don't know if his spotter told him he was or if he just misjudged it there. Shell thought he was clear, and yeah, he's just not.
Yeah, Travis Walls was there, clearly on the outside, and the 34 of Shell just started to move up. The 34 of Shell did claim the cause for that caution, so he'll be given an EOL, and I believe he was already in the back after the incident, so he'll be staying there currently for the moment. But the 4 car of Travis Walls currently still sitting in the back after that incident there, and it's been a little bit tough for him.
Yeah, we got a lot of cars making their first move down pit road here. Caleb Hall, Kyle Turzak, Shane Hodges, Alex Greats, Tyler Muller, Evan Hassler, Tanner Burgess, Grant Brown, and Jake Grout and Dylan Delaney all taking tires that time. The only 2 cars still on their original set from the start of the race are Christian Peterson and Dylan Calabro, 1 and 2.
Well, I'm a little bit more surprised from that call from the 171 rather than the 71 of Calabro. Calabro, we saw him fighting up in the front earlier. He's been involved in a few incidents and been mired in the mid-pack. This is a chance for him to get off strategy and try to do something different. But will the 171 pit? What do you think, Sky, at any point?
Know. I mean, he's going to have to for sure. Maybe just one of those situations where he thought nobody was going to come down and he stayed out as the leader, and then the car behind him was like, well, I'll do whatever the opposite of the leader does, and everyone followed him down.
Yeah, leaders would follow them down, but Christian Peterson, we've got to wonder what his call is here to keep it up out front. A lot of his competitors back behind him decided to take tires, and we're just going to have to see if he's able to hold on with those old tires.
Yeah, side by side, we're racking them up for the restart here. That 171 is going to be under immediate threat from Wiseman and Sylvia, who are on 15-lap old tires. And then Terzak and Hodges, 7th and 8th, are going to be the first cars rolling off on fresh tires. So variety of strategies here, about 3 different ones, just in the top 7 cars.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep up with it here. Like you said, those 2 cars stayed out right behind him, Weissman and Walls there. 14-lap old tires. Jake Sylvia, 20-lap old tires. Joseph West as well with 14-lap old. And then everyone else just about ran into the pits on that pit cycle. So we'll try to keep up with it here for you guys to make sure you know who has what set of tires. But all you need to know right now is those 2 drivers out on your front row are going to be trying to play a blocking game here, because they are going to be under threat and under attack from all these cars lined up behind them. Christian Peterson on the inside of Dylan Calabro here, like we talked about. Completing lap 58. We're green, back in the air. Christian Peterson still leads into 1.
Pretty decent jump on the outside for that 4 car there of Walls, but he couldn't quite get clear of the 74 of Wiseman. Travis Walls has that top working as we got a bunch of cars loose and down the racetrack. We all make it through, but that's going to allow Calabro and Peterson some space to get away, and now Peterson is going to look to take the lead back from Calabro. We're 3 wide behind.
3 wide in the back. That's Caleb Hall down on the bottom of Jake Sylvia. Sylvia on older tires than a lot of these guys, and he's just not able to hold it here. He's back on the outside, the last place he wanted to be. Evan Hassler in that 38 car trying to work to the inside. This is all a battle for the 6th, 7th, and 8th position. Looking back, that's the 55 of Tyler Muller. Oh, the 10 of Shane Hodges sideways. He saves it. We're still green here.
This is exactly what Calabro and Peterson want to see, as we're going to get the drivertees.com replay of this incident for Shane Hodges. Great save. Got a little bit of help from Drake Grout to straighten that thing out and prevent him from going around. Those 2 cars in the lead are way clear of the cars behind them on fresher tires, and that is a huge advantage. It won't be any more. Cautions back out.
Just like you said, that advantage is immediately erased here. Caution on lap 62. Drivers in the back having an incident. We're going to have to
take... Not entirely sure what that was for. We're going to try to find out for you here.
Yeah, we'll take a look back and see what caused it. We almost had it there.
It was Jared Shell.
Jared Shell looking along with him. We'll see if that was the cause of it. We've seen him in a few incidents tonight. We'll take a look back at our drivers. Whoa! Drivertees.com replays. We've got almost a sideways cartwheel there from the 34 car.
Yeah, it looked like a self-spin. I don't think there was any contact there with Stefan behind him. Maybe? Can't quite tell from that angle, but he got loose off the corner. Big hit to the inside wall.
It looks like there might have been contact just a little bit, and yet Jared Shell car damaged yet again here. We'll get word from our race control when they're able to figure out the incident. Looking along here on the hood with the 89 of Bradley Stefan. He's still a lap down back there. Or excuse me, he's on the lead lap yet again. No, he's 4 laps down. I lied. Looks like a little contact there, Sky.
Yeah, just a little tap off the corner was all it took to send Jared Shell around into the fence. And he's already used his fast repair, so that might be the end of his day.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see. He's still, I'm looking at my charts right here. It looks like he is still on the lead lap right now, currently in 17th. So he's probably quite upset with the 89 car, because the 89 car is currently 4 laps down. So that wasn't even a battle for position.
Yeah, we're going to take you to, I believe, a quick commercial break here on V-Speed, lap 65 out of 100. 35 to go when we come back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we're back here. We're going to take the green. Peterson still out front. The 71 of Calibro had the lead. He decides to choose the outside. Gets a great launch here, completing lap 67. He'll hold the lead. Peterson on the inside. And that's the 15 of Terzak going sideways through turn 1.
I wonder if Terzak can maybe make that outside work if he gets side by side, because he's got 55 lap fresher tires. If there's anybody who's going to make this work, it's going to be Terzak. A little bit of contact between the two. Peterson in the fence, and now Terzak will get around him for second.
That's an extreme advantage here for the 15 of Terzak. He moves it up into second place. Now he'll set his sights on that 71 of Calibro. Looking here off the back, this 171 is not done. He'll move to the inside, try to leave a lane. Terzak will leave the lane, side by side yet again for second. Peterson won't be able to hold it off those fresher tires of Terzak.
I'm shocked at the fight that Peterson and Calibro are still putting up, even with that many laps on the tires. We're almost 3 wide. Jake Sylvia squirrely in front of the pack. Somehow keeps it straight, and now he's going to be strapped on the inside of Shane Hodges.
Well, to the inside is where he wants to be, is what we talked about earlier. Looking at our drivertees.com replay as to what happened there in the back. Oh my gosh, looks like the one got tagged there. Taking a look back, that's Tanner Berge right behind him. Alex Grates on the outside. Meanwhile, caution is out currently. Looked like Berge was on the inside, trying to make it 3 wide. Had some contact there with Sylvia. And that almost caused a caution, but now we have a real caution here out on the speedway.
Yeah, we're going to figure out who that was for. A couple cars looked like they were, and that's a 74 car.
Oh, not Jared Shell again.
Racetrack.
I feel so 74. Bad for him. I feel
Michael
so
Weisman.
bad. Weisman having
Michael
some
Weisman
trouble.
Around in the middle of the racetrack, self-spin, it looks like.
Well, we're going to have to take a look back at here from another drivertees.com replay. Ooh, might have had some contact there from Grant Brown. He might have been already loose, so race control will take a look back at that. The 14 is already under. Or, excuse me, that might be Kyle Terzak that's under investigation right now. 2 14s out on track makes it a little bit confusing. But, yeah, 74 was already loose there, as we're going to take another look back from the rear bumper of that 74 of Weisman.
Yeah, it was Grant Brown behind him. Yeah, I think he was going to go around whether there was contact or not. He was already starting to spin it out of that corner. And you see some of those cars like Stefan trying to roll back behind him. Almost came up in front of Shell there. Shell had to get really slow down onto the apron to avoid that.
Yeah, when DJ, our producer, panned to the 34 car, I was so worried that he was involved in yet another incident, because he has absolutely been through it today. 74 was backing up on track, and the 34 didn't know he was going to do that. So,
yeah.
I feel bad for him. I really do, the 34 car.
I saw him last place on the ticker, and I had the same fear as well there.
Yeah. Well, currently the 14 car is under investigation for it's gonna be post-race investigation for a lane change violation. So if that's the case, that should be just a warning for Caleb Hall, but he is currently under investigation. So, meanwhile, while we were looking at all of that, the 171 of Christian Peterson finally decided to pit. The 71 of Calibro, however, will remain out on those old tires. 75 laps old, Sky.
Yeah, Christian Peterson's going to cycle all the way back around to 18th. So now it's up to Dylan Calabro, the only car on this strategy in the RKM setup shop car. He drives legend cars in real life. Maybe he can use that experience here to try and drag him up the field.
Maybe he can use it in real life. Your car lining up second in that 115 is Kyle Turzak. He's currently leading the point standings after his win last week, looking to make it 2 in a row here today. Justin Crow currently in our field. He's currently in the 14th position, but he's third in the standings. So looking to make up some position here in the final 25 laps to try to keep his position up in the point standings. That 74 car of Weissman did claim our caution, so he will have an EOL and be sent to the back. But the real story is up with Dylan Calabro versus Kyle Turzak. Old tires versus new tires. 24 laps to go here. We'll see if Calabro can hold it.
Yeah, it's time for these drivers to go. Calabro got a little bit of a jump on the inside. Turzak will pull in behind. He'll immediately take a peek down to the inside. Calabro's running in the middle. He doesn't want to let him by. Big contact. Calabro around in the middle of the racetrack.
Oh my
Big
gosh.
flip.
That's 4 of Travis Walls is in the sky.
Oh my goodness.
You saw the contact there. The 15 of Kyle Turzak had an incident with the 71 of Calabro. The smoke coming out of Travis Walls right now. Huge contact for them. We're going to have to take a look back at this and really figure out what happened. As we'll take a look back at our drivercheese.com replay. So much going on. That's the 15 of Turzak getting into the 71 there on the exit of turn 2. That's where this incident will begin. And he's all over the rear bumper of Calabro. He'll make a move down to the inside here, and looks like Calabro didn't know if he was going to make that move. We're in slow motion to make sure we can figure out everything that happened. Looks like the 15 just moves up a little bit into the 71. Not sure if the 71 came down. 71 absolutely sideways, was able to save it, but then Tyler Muller had a lot faster speed and got into the back of Calabro, and he was sideways again. Then this is Jake Grout, Caleb Hall, 88 of Delaney, Shane Hodges, all in there. This is Grant Brown, Tanner Berge, Jake Sylvia. Oh my gosh, Jake Sylvia up and over as well. He got even higher than Walls.
That's another car flipping. That's Tanner Berge. 3 flips and 1 caution at Nashville Fairgrounds.
I have never seen the likes of this before, ever, in all of my time broadcasting, Sky. This is Travis Walls. This is a rear driver from his hood cam. That's Berge. This is Sylvia that he's making contact with, who hits the inside wall here. But oh my goodness. Oh, but look at how high Sylvia is.
He's high. He's like twice as high as the pit boxes.
I have never seen a car, even in the sim, get as high as Sylvia did there. And I thought Walls got high there up on this back front straightaway incident.
And that's bad for Travis Walls, because I think that might put him out of the race. He did not have a faster pair left, and he'll be stuck. Should be out of the race here back in 18th. Berge's going to be 3 laps down already. Jake Sylvia did have a faster pair left, so he will be still out there.
Yeah, Jake Sylvia currently in 14th. Travis Walls, like you said, in 18th, currently 2 laps down. And Tanner Berge in 20th, 3 laps down. So Berge and Walls will be out of this race, but Sylvia had that fast repair, and he will be able to continue on. But he's in 18th, and he's going to have to try to make his way to the front with only 17 laps to go when most likely we take the green flag.
Yeah, he's going to need to make a lot of progress over the last 19 laps, and I think some of those 19 laps are going to be caution laps, judging by how this race has gone so far. It's going to be Turzak now on the inside in the lead. Evan Hassler to the outside. Dylan Calabro still being scored third right there. We'll restart on the inside.
Calabro again still on those old tires. We saw him was what the start of how this incident happened. Turzak got into him. New player up front, Evan Hassler. We know how good he is. We have seen him in the Summer Series. We've seen him in the Triple Crown, and we saw him in Season 1. But he's going to try to bring it to your current points leader, Kyle Turzak. Green flag out in the air. Turzak with a great restart. He'll lead. Right behind him, that's Hassler. Caution out already.
We didn't even make it to the line there further back. We already got a caution out.
Gotta wonder if there was a stack up back there on the restart and somebody had an issue. looking along here with the 74 of Weissman, wondering if he was involved. That's Anthony Yankello right in front of him.
Oh, it was Jared Shell again.
Oh, no. DriverTees.com replay will give you here what we need to see. Looking at that 34 car. Oh, looks like Stefan. Oh, they had an incident earlier.
They did. That is the second incident between Jared Shell and a multiple lap down Bradley Stefan car at this point. There is going to be some anger between those two drivers after this.
I think race control is absolutely going to be looking at that incident right there, because we saw him have a little bit of contact early in the race, and I don't know about you, that looked like Stefan looked a little bit intentional there. Again, we up in the booth can only have opinions here, but I don't know. That didn't just look like a racing incident there. What did you think, Sky?
Yeah, don't want to say anything matter-of-factly, but he did. Looks like he did kind of get into the back of him there, and yeah.
Racing control will definitely take a look back at that one after this race. That's Stefan. Oh, we're getting word Bradley Stefan has been parked. His car has been taken out of this race, so it looked like that might have been intentional. Gotta wonder if there will be some post-race, penalties here for Stefan.
I would have to imagine so, especially with how many penalties were given out last week for a wide variety of things. I would have to imagine that that's also going to result in one there for Bradley Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan, that's I don't know how that one's going to look. We're going to have to update you next week on how that looks. This is, I don't know about you, Sky, I am loving this race. Like, while we have had a good amount of cautions, this has been so entertaining from these drivers.
Yeah, we've had, great battles for the lead. We've been 3 wide in the mid-pack. We've had cars about 30 feet in the air. What more could you want out of a late model race? This has been unbelievable.
Look, some producers that I've been able to work with, they don't like comments being shouted out. I worked with DJ a good while here. He said some great comments here behind the stage. He talked about this is the Misfit Racing League Space Force, talking about that last caution. And he just said this, I love this. Went to a plane show and a race broke out. I don't know about y'all, but if any of y'all get to know these guys behind the booth that aren't me and Sky and other guys speaking, there's a lot of work and talent that happens back just behind our voices. So we just want to give a shout out to Bradley Cooper, to DJ Lyon, and all the other producers and guys who work behind the scenes here at V-Speed Productions. So we appreciate them and all the work that they do here to make this all happen. Well, 88 laps complete. Coming to lap 89, we'll have 11 or 12. I think it's 12. Math is not good. Math is not good, Sky. We talked about this last time. I'm not the best at math. I haven't taken a class in a while. We're going to have 11 laps to go when we come back here at this race. That's what I'm going to guess we're going to have. But the front row is still the same. The second row is still the same. But the outcome of this race is still yet to be decided. Anyone in this field could take the win. Green flag is out for Turzak. He gets a great launch. Hassler on the outside now of Dylan Calabro.
That big launch for him was also big for Calabro, because that might get him around Hassler. It will get him around Hassler. He'll take that second position for now. He'll be able to drop it back to the inside. He's really, really struggling on those old tires. You can see him get loose there into Hassler. Hassler around.
Shane Hodges sideways, stack up in the front yet again. That's Anthony Yankello. That's the 76 car. Oh my gosh, Connor Gadsden's involved. Is that Jared Shell? Oh my gosh.
It never ends for him. He's got a hole in his front nose, and he's still fighting.
Well, look, we're going to take a look back here at the DriverTees.com replay. That's the 171 there of Christian Peterson, 15 of Joseph West. And we saw where this all started up front. Oh, big checkup there for what happened. It looks like the 74 just stopped.
Yeah, he got contact there, and then it all just kind of broke out behind him. I think that was another big one. You saw about 5 or 6 cars getting torn up in that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a lot of cars torn up. Again, you got to wonder who has their fast repairs and who used them earlier in this race. This is the 14 of Caleb Hall we're looking along with in that white and purple machine. And, oh yeah. Oh, he got a little bit of side contact there. Got to wonder if his right front toe might be out after that contact, or if he made it out cleanly.
Yeah, I am shocked that he made it through that. We're gonna see the onboard here because this was close.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness! How did he make it through that accident?
I don't know. That was a gap that he almost created, that he was able to make it through there. Caleb Hall, again, we know, an extremely fast driver. Some of these guys up front might have wanted to see him involved in that incident because of how fast he truly is. See some right front damage there on the 38 of Hassler. He's going to still be, he's currently scored still second. So we're going to see where iRacing is going to line up. You see big left front damage there for the 71 of Calibro. He's going to finally bring it down pit road. He has a penalty for a drive-through.
Yeah, he's not the only person on watch from the stewards. Kyle Terzak was on a short lease, they say. He might get a penalty post-race for the big accident that ended with multiple cars in the air. It was claimed by the 55 of Tyler Muller, but Terzak also on watch for that one as well.
Many cars on watch there for all of these incidents happen. Oh, Terzak, a little bit of right front damage here on that 15 car. So you got to wonder, is his steering wheel straight? Is the toe of that right front pointing in the correct direction? So both cars up there up front with almost identical damage there on their right fronts. Got to wonder how their cars will be handling, and is this an opening in the door for that 49 of Jake Grout and Alex Grates there sitting in third and fourth for them to maybe be able to take this with precisely undamaged vehicles? I say undamaged. Grout looks a little bent up there.
I was about to say that might be a chance for Jake Grout to try to make something happen here, because we're going to go back green with about 5 laps to go in this race. It's going to be anybody's game, and with the amount of cautions we've had, I wouldn't be surprised if we went to a green-white checkered even to settle this race. It is going to be a frantic last 5 laps and maybe then some.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit at all if we use some of those green-white checkers, even if them all. So we saw that Jake Grout does have great position here on the inside of Terzak. That's where I'd want to be if I was in third position, but he does still have some body damage. It looks like, though, to me, that Alex Grates has a clean car. Gotta wonder if he can do anything here from the outside, sitting in the 4th position. But to do that, he'll have to make it past this front row. That's Evan Hassler on the outside, Kyle Terzak in the 15 car on the inside. We take the green. We're gonna have 5 to go here from Nashville Fairgrounds.
Side by side, still down into turn 1, but Terzak gets a good jump into the corner. He'll take the lead there, and now it's Jake Grout trying to push himself up the inside of Evan Hassler for second. Bunch of cars in the wall further back as Jake Grout puts himself clear of Hassler, and now he is going to pursue Kyle Terzak to try to win this race.
The 49 clear into second here, moving through turn 1. Caleb Hall now working to the inside of Hassler. Gonna be a little door-to-door contact there through turn 2 into 3 and 4. They're still side by side. Caleb Hall has the advantage. He'll clear out of turn 4. That opens the door for Alex Grates to try to take it into 4th. Meanwhile, Alex Terzak almost out with a half a second lead. Does these drivers have anything for him? Jake Grout currently in second, Caleb Hall in 3rd. 3 to go here, coming to 2 to go.
That car of Hassler has no grip on the top. You've seen him sliding all around. That was what opened the door for Grates. The 49 of Grout is around. Big wreck.
Oh, Tag Sylvia didn't hold his brakes. That's be huge damage for Jake Sylvia.
That car was running in the top 3 when it happened, and he's going to go to the back. We're looking at the drivertees.com instant replay here of what happened to Jake Grout up at the front. This is in second. Little loose out of the corner. Caleb Hall is looking to the inside. Not much happening yet. We're going to see it down into turn 1. Caleb Hall's got the nose in on Grout. Ooh, maybe a little high into the corner. Tags that 49 car, sends him around. He doesn't hold the brakes, and he goes straight down into Jake Sylvia and Christian Peterson.
And Dylan Delaney got a little bit of it as well there as a 76 of Connor Gadsden. So you got to make sure these drivers are holding their brakes, but you got to wonder, and we're going to know from race control here pretty soon, is this going to be a penalty for the 14 of Caleb Hall, who was running 3rd at the time and had a chance for the win?
It might be a penalty, but it'll certainly be a green-white checkered finish coming for us with 2 to go. We got 3 tries at that, and one of them is going to decide how we finish this race.
Well, we explained it to you earlier, and we'll give it to you again. The 49, the caution is on him. He's parked for not holding the brakes. So the 14 of Caleb Hall will not get a penalty, and he'll be fighting for second here and fighting for the win. So 49 parked for the rest of this race. This is going to be interesting here. Kyle Turzak, I've got to say, he was half a lap away there from taking the white flag. And if the caution came out after that, he would have taken the win. And I've got to say, I know he is extremely frustrated about this because you arguably have the second best driver in this field now starting on the outside of him. That is the 14 car of Caleb Hall. So this could be a mad dash here to the finish.
Yeah, we'll see where he chooses here. We've got the choose cone coming up this time, I believe. Turzak is on the inside for sure. He's going to definitely take that bottom. We're going to see where Caleb Hall ends up choosing as we come back to the start-finish line here. Hall will choose the top, and it'll be Alex Greats who's going to restart this race in third on the bottom. Only 13 cars left of the 24 we started with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised why. I think these cars, to have more cars left in this field, needed a little bit more than one fast repair. So only Dylan Calabro is 1 lap down. Tanner Berge is 2 laps down. Every other driver is out of this race. Kyle Adams, Travis Walls are still out on track, but they are 14 and 24 laps down. This will be our first green-white checkered attempt here tonight. Like we talked about, that'll be when drivers take the green, they will have 2 laps to go. When they take these 2 laps to go, if a caution comes out before these drivers take the white flag, we'll re-rack them and try again for the other 2 attempts. If they take the white flag, any flag after the white flag, either caution or checkered, will end this race. So when we come back after this next lap, we will have 2 to go. And I don't know about you, Sky, I'm excited about how this is going to work out here. As we're looking along with Peterson, goes and parks it up in turn 1 and pulls it onto pit road. The 15 of Turzak on the inside. He won last week, trying to go for 2 in a row and for 100% win rate here in season 2. Caleb Hall, your fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, trying to show that speed and get the result of taking the win. Green flag is out in the air for our first green-white checkered of the night. Kyle Turzak leads into turn 1. Caleb Hall on the outside.
They're still side by side. It's going to be Greats who's going to try to get the run out of 3. Hall in the fence. He's going to slide off a little. Still keeps it in second, though. He's single file there with Turzak in the lead. White flag this time around for Kyle Turzak.
No matter what happens here, this race is official. Turzak only 1/10 of a second ahead of Caleb Hall here. Is there anything that Hall can do here into 3 and 4 to pull it on Turzak? Through 3 and 4, that 15 of Turzak, he's out front. Caleb Hall has nothing for him. Turzak will win again here, 2 in a row.
Great finish there between all those cars. Caleb Hall, very up and down day, but he'll take second. Alex Greats kind of had a pretty quiet day. Didn't say his name much, but he got a top 3 out of it. And Evan Hassel will be the next car around, finishing in 4th.
Yeah, we'll have you with our race grid later on. But Kyle Turzak, driver of the day and your winner here. He started 10th. He led 29 laps. But what an absolute performance. He's 100% win rate. Ooh, huge hit from his 76 there of Connor Gadsden. I don't know what that was, but the 15 car of Turzak will continue to celebrate, and he absolutely deserved the guy.
Yeah, we're going to get you to a commercial break here, and when we come back, we'll have some interviews from the top 3 drivers, and we'll get you your final race results here. Stick around live on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, we're back after that absolutely exciting finish here from Nashville Fairgrounds. We're going to get our results here from all the drivers that came out tonight with this awesome 24-car field. Kyle Turzak, as you know, was the race winner, started 10th. Behind him was Caleb Hall in that 14 car. Then Alex Grates came up in 3rd position. Evan Hassler in the 38 car came up in 4th. Michael Weissman rounded out your top 5. Shane Hodges in the 010 came up 6th. Joseph West saw him have a lot of trouble in the heat races, but he came up with a top 10 finish in 7th. In that 55 car is Tyler Muller in 8th position. Dylan Delaney in the 88 comes up 9th. And in 10th position is the one of Jake Sylvia.
Following them up, 10 cars behind them, we're going to start the 76 machine there of Connor Gadsden finishing 11th. He started 23rd. Jared Shell will finish 12th and 34th. Keelan Calabro in the 71 finishes 13th, with Tanner Burgee in the 35 finishing 14th. Christian Peterson led some laps early, but will finish 15th. Kyle Adams will finish this race in 16th, with Justin Crow in 17th. Anthony Yankello in the 79 finishes 18th, with Travis Walls in 19th, and Grant Blueberry Brown in 20th.
Well, rounding out your race results here tonight for your feature race, that's the 12 of Matt Mingo, Keegan Bush, Jake Grout, and Bradley Stefane round out this field. All had a lot of trouble tonight. You saw Jake Grout and Stefane there were less laps down than the others, but that's because they were parked here in this race. We'll have to look next week to see if they have any penalties, but we'll get to that later here tonight in our thoughts. But first, we're going to talk to the winner, and that is the 15 of Kyle Turzak. Well, Kyle, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, 2 wins in a row, 100% here for the Misfit Touring Series Season 2. I think I asked you last week, but how does it feel?
Feels pretty good. I had to work for that one a little bit harder if the net was damaged, but we got it done. I put it right there on lap 50, and no idea what happened there. But I don't know. I have to take back at the replay, but I'm for certain I was at least at his tire and for Dylan, and I don't know. I don't know. He just kept coming down, and then by the time we got in the corner, I tried to lift because I could see he was coming down, but it was already too late by then. He was wrecked, and he saved it, and then something else happened back behind. But this one feels pretty good, man. I was coming in this race. I was not really. I don't really feel good at this racetrack in the stock. Super late models. I love this track. So, but the late model stock for me is just, I don't know. It just seems like you got to run different type of line here, and then the super. And I feel like I got it down after I got in clean air, and I was just zooming after that.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't feel confident here, then oh my gosh, when we saw you confident at Stafford. So one thing that we've seen, I don't know if you know any of the series results from the season 1 of the Misfit Touring Series, but Jake Sylvia came out at the end of the Touring Series with 8 wins, and he was extremely dominant, winning the season championship. You've put up a dominant performance already with 2 wins out of the 2 races. I mean, you're already our championship leader. How does that feel heading into the rest of this season that you already have 2 wins, head of the points? You're a lot of the way ahead of everyone right now. What are you thinking about heading to the rest of the season?
Just stay on the grind. This hard work at our Kansas Auto Shop has been outstanding, with building officials, this league and a couple other leagues. It's just been outstanding how much work we put into these setups and how fast we are, really. Ryan Kuhn. Thanks to him, he put on. I won the tour mod race, and then come here in the touring series and get another one. That feels pretty good. And overall, just got to stay consistent throughout the races, get good points finishes, and hopefully we come out with a title.
Consistency is key. One last question before I let you go. On that final restart, Caleb Hall, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, is on your outside. What's the mindset heading into that final green-white checkered?
I knew I had nose damage, so I had to be really good on the gears and just had to get through one. And I felt like I did that pretty good. And then when he got behind me, I could tell that it was a bit tight. So I actually had to adjust my brake bias right there, come to the white because something was probably going to happen. And respect to him, nothing happened. But yeah, racing with these guys are really great. I know Caleb from officials and all that, and he's a really tough competitor. I have multiple different experiences, some good, some bad, but Caleb's like I said, is pretty good, and but nothing could stop us tonight.
It was a great show to watch you there from the end. Anyone you'd like to thank tonight, Kyle?
Yeah, I want to thank Kyle Adams for putting this on. I want to thank you guys for the broadcast. Can't Stop the Shot for everything to do. Crush Shim Shots. My parents, if they're watching, I think they're still watching unless they want to sleep. Hello. That's about it.
Well, we're appreciative that you're here in the booth with us again. I do not doubt at all that we'll be talking to you again here going through this series. Congratulations on the win tonight, man. Go celebrate.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, that was your winner, Kyle Terzak here. And Sky Shrek has caught up with your second place finisher, Caleb Hall.
Yeah, Caleb, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
You were up front at the end, but you couldn't quite get it done on that green-white checker. Talk us through that last 15 laps or so with you coming to the line.
Hell, I don't even know where I was with 15 to go. I know about 30 to go. I got that black flag. I was on my phone piddling. I knew we were choosing, but when I came before, I just blanked out. And Hassler mic'd up and barked at me and got me sent to the tail. But no, I mean that last little bit was fun. We went off into one, and I guess Grout thought that he could just take me all the way to the apron and not have a care in the world for my car. But the admin said that he caused it. They parked him. I guess he didn't hold the brakes, and then a bunch of his teammates said that he's just a whiny ass little kid. So I don't know. I had a great time. I never really knew that this league existed, but I had a customer that I built setups for. He ran last week, CJ Wilcott. His father passed away this week, and I was not going to let this piece go to waste. So, I was out here racing for him tonight. I was out here to have fun. Me and Kyle and Alex, we race all the time, and I had a blast. I mean, it was caution filled, but other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed this league.
Yeah, you were the fastest car in practice. You were the fastest qualifier. Started 11th with the invert, but still worked your way up. So talk us about kind of overcoming the invert and then all the chaos that happened after.
I knew with the invert, I would just follow Terzak through it because, like I said, we race a lot together. So I know that he's going to put his car in a position to where we can get to the front, and I just followed him through. I think if I would have had just a touch more gear, I might have been able to keep him on the bottom and potentially beat him to the line there for the win. But it was hectic. That one wreck in 3 and 4, everybody was flipping. I don't know how I made it through it. It was gas brake, and then I came out of it, and I think I got a little damage on the right front. But as y'all could see, it didn't really affect it.
All right, one last question. Anyone you want to thank on the broadcast tonight?
Yeah, Ryko Performance. That's where you can get all my collection of short track iRacing setups, along with all their NASCAR stuff. I think they've won the A, B, and C Open Championship for like the past 3 years or something insane. Aftershock Setup Solutions, all the guys that help me week in and week out with these official setups, along with league setups, as it shows. They're no slouches. Justin Brooks Designs, Hall Visual Works on Facebook. If you want to get your IRL car looking spiffy, hit us up. That's pretty much it, guys.
All right, congrats on second place, Caleb Hall.
All right, thank you, guys.
And while we were talking to him, Scott's caught back up with our third place finisher tonight, Alex Grates.
Well, Alex is in the booth with me. Alex, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, good to see you here, back for season 2. You missed the race last week. Were you back here again? Tell me about what you missed last week for, and we'll talk about tonight then.
Honestly, I was a little bit busy last weekend with some real life stuff. I just couldn't get
There you
around to
go.
getting on the sim for the day, but I'm excited to be back. It's always fun here with MRL. I don't know, I'm just glad to be back.
Well, we missed you last week because we know how good you are. We saw you towards the latter half last year of season 1, and we saw how strong you were, able to get a win. And we know that you're a good driver here tonight. And we saw you fighting in the top 5. Tell me about that last restart. You're starting in 4th on the outside. What was going through your mind as what you could do in that position?
Honestly, I was happy with wherever I finished because this is probably my worst racetrack on the sim period. But I was just trying to go forward, hoping to get to that top 3. That podium is really big for points, especially missing a week. I kind of gotta buckle in and pick up as many points as I can throughout the season, try to be in the contention for it at the end.
Well, we know how good you are. We know that you can absolutely have the ability to be in contention for that. We go on to Five Flags next week. How do you feel about that track as compared to Nashville?
That's probably one of my better tracks in these cars. I've ran that track probably a million times. I probably have 100,000 laps on that track between testing for Fall Brawl last year with Sarah, running the actual race and officials and everything like that. I'm really excited for that track. It's definitely one of my better tracks as far as in this car specifically.
Love to hear the confidence. A 3rd place finish today, and with how confident you are about that, I would not be surprised at all if you could take the win. But talking about taking the win, Kyle Turzak now has won twice out of these 2 races. What is it going to take that fight to Kyle?
Honestly, I think it's just going to take me getting more practice laps on the racetrack and actually knowing how the track's going to drive. Kyle's always super fast. I mean, he's also on our cam stuff, so we're basically on the same setup every single week. It's just going to take probably being there at the right time because he's up 9 spots from where he started. He got really lucky with avoiding those wrecks early on. And also I kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit, picking the top all those times, hoping it was going to roll. I feel like if I stayed towards the bottom, I could have probably been second trying to contest him for the win. I think it's just going to be out playing my cards right and making sure I'm there at the end to actually fight with him. But I think in a heads up, dogfight, I probably could hang with him. If not, maybe pull out in front of him, depending on the racetrack.
Well, I know that you have raced with him a lot outside of MRL here. We talked about it a little bit. So you might know some of his weaknesses, if anyone at all. So would love to see you be able to take the fight to him because we know you have the talent and ability to do it. Before I let you go, Alex, anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Mainly just Ryan Kuhn, our cam setup shop. Without him, I'd probably be out to lunch. I haven't probably touched a setup in iRacing period for like 2 years. He's the reason why I'm here right now. Obviously got to give him a shout out. 17 Media, my wrap company. You can see the car on the stream. It looks real nice in my opinion. Probably one of my favorite cars I've done. And that's about it. And then Kyle Adams, the whole MRL crew for putting on this race. It was a lot of fun.
Well, always fun to have you here in the booth and get to talk to you. Hope to begin to talk to you again. Congratulations on the podium here tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, that was Alex Greats, your 3rd place finisher of the night. Saw him stay quiet and stay clean like we talked about. Well, Sky, we're going to Five Flags next week. Tell me a little bit about the infamous track at Pensacola.
Yeah, it's famous for its late model racing. Holds the Snowball Derby every year, probably the most prestigious late model race in America. It should be a great time. I hope the race next week is just as exciting as all the Snowball Derbies are in real life.
Well, Snowball Derby in real life will happen here in less than a month, but 1 week from today, we will be there here in the virtual realm, and we'll be at Five Flags Speedway. I'm excited about that track. I really love it in the super late model, not as much in the late model stock, only because I'm not so good at it, but I know these drivers are a lot better than me at it, and they can work this track as beautiful and as awesome as it is, and it's going to be a heck of a race. And we saw excellent stuff be put on this week here at Nashville Fairgrounds, but I'm so excited what we can get next week. Give me some thoughts, Sky, on what you thought here today with this race.
I mean, that race just had a little bit of everything. We had cars upside down. We had great battles all throughout the field for the lead. We had cars going 3 wide in the mid-pack. It was so loose off those corners. Cars were always sliding around trying to fight for grip, and I think that just made it a really entertaining race, and I'm looking forward to next week at Five Flags.
Absolutely, tonight was a heater of a race, and we know with Misfit Racing and the Misfit Racing Touring Series that it is absolutely amazing, and the guys put on great shows. Well, we're going to see you next week. From Kyle Adams and Jake Sylvia at Misfit Productions, for Bradley Cooper at V-Speed, for DJ Lion in production, and my colleague in the booth, Sky Shrek, my name is Scott Shive, and we'll see you next week in Pensacola at Five Flags.
We got the wheels extensibles, the roads of fire, never cold. Chasing glory, feel the rush. This misfit crew you can't hush. Engines roaring loud as thunder, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit racing leads the way. Other leagues got nothing to say. We're the thunder in the storm. Watch us whirl. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track. Other teams are left in the back. Adrenaline and gas combined. In this madness we all shine. Feel the heat as we approach. Victory's a roaring coach. Checkered flags are all we see. Misfits rule eternally. Burn the rubber, feel alive. See the sparks as we arrive. Racers bow to misfits call with a giant standing tall. Engines roaring loud as thunder, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit right. Engines racing leads the worker, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit racing leads the way. Other leagues got nothing to say. We're the thunder in the storm. Watch us whirl. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track. Other teams are left in the back. Adrenaline and gas combined. In this madness we all shine. Feel the heat as we approach. Victory's a roaring coach. Checkered flags are all we see. Misfits rule eternally. Burn the rubber, feel alive. See the sparks as we arrive. Adrenaline and gas combined. In this madness we all shine. This is our norm. This is our norm. This is our norm. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track.